If you've come here looking for the best bets for Super Bowl 60, well, you've come to the right place, because in this video, myself and SI.com's Iain MacMillan will break down everything you need to know for the game, including what to bet. IMAC's got 3 bets coming up and a bit of a Super Bowl 60 single game parlay. So stick around for that. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let us know what your favorite bet is for the Super Bowl in the comment section below. Turn those notifications on as well, because I'm going to be talking to Nick Holtz later on this week about the best prop bets for the Super Bowl, exotics, and otherwise, so do not miss that. IMAC, obviously, a couple of quarterbacks coming off great seasons here. One is the second youngest to ever start in a Super Bowl. The other has been, mistake and turnover prone for the bulk of his career. We've seen him shrink in big spots down the years, but not this season. Who are you trusting more in Super Bowl 60?
I think I got to trust Sam Darnold. Congratulations, Drake Maye, for having a great regular season, but you can't really look past the fact that by far the 3 best defenses he had to play against all season were in the playoffs, and he didn't play well. The Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl because of Drake Maye's playoff performances. Decent game against the Chargers, but then couldn't throw for over 180 yards or more against in the other 2 games. I think it was like 86 yards against the Broncos, and the Patriots fans are like, yeah, but it was a blizzard. It was a blizzard. For like half a quarter, it was a blizzard. Relax. There was green grass out there for 3 quarters, and Drake Maye did nothing. And now he has to take on arguably the best defense yet in the Seahawks, if not the best, probably number 2, I guess, behind the Texans. So I think he kind of has a tough matchup until he proves that he can really dice up an elite defense. I'm not really going to necessarily trust him in this spot. And to be fair, I don't know if it's all necessarily his fault. He doesn't have the offensive weapons that Sam Darnold has, which is another reason why I trust Sam Darnold more. Obviously, he has arguably the best receiver in football right now, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He has Cooper Kupp, a guy who's been there, done that, former Super Bowl MVP. For both the fact that Sam Darnold just has more weapons and he looked really good in the playoffs, really good in the NFC Championship against a very good Rams defense, maybe he finally got over that hump of kind of folding in big moments. So I trust it. This is crazy for me to say, but I trust Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. What a world we're in where those words just came out of my mouth.
I know it's crazy, but he sort of deserves it. He's had another great season. He's been very good in the Seahawks playoff run, unlike, like you mentioned, Drake Maye, who has struggled. And we've got some new faces on the sidelines here as well with Mike Macdonald, Mike Vrabel. Vrabel has been there and done that as a player, but clearly 2 of the top coaches in the NFL, IMAC. Who do you give the coaching edge to here?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't really know because these 2 coaches are, to be fair, probably the top 2 candidates for Coach of the Year. I know Mike Vrabel's a favorite heading into the awards night, but if I were to vote, I would vote for Mike Macdonald. But then you think Vrabel's obviously the more experienced head coach than Mike Macdonald, but I do think Macdonald had overall a better team this season against much tougher competition. So I don't know. I guess based on experience, I'll go Mike Vrabel. Very, very slight coaching edge in this game just because of the experience. He's been to the Super Bowl as a player. He probably knows how to handle the craziness that comes with being in the Super Bowl the week leading up to it, all the media. He's probably more used to that than Mike Macdonald, so I'll give him a slight edge to Vrabel, but that's a coin flip.
Let's talk running backs quickly here. How much pressure is going to be on Kenneth Walker to generate anything, with the Zach Charbonnet injury and so on? Not a ton of depth now with Holani, but, Kenneth Walker, 71.5 on the board here at DraftKings. Is he going to feel the pressure to generate any sort of production on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, probably, and he should, to be completely honest, because I think the Seahawks are going to have to run the ball. They run the ball a ton, too. People don't talk enough about that. They run the ball in 50% of their plays, the second highest rate in the NFL next to the Ravens. But he has delivered so far in the first 2 playoff games over 100 all-purpose yards in both the divisional round and the NFC Championship. So he got slowed down a little bit in the second half against the Rams, but he can attack defenses both on the ground and in the passing game as well. So will there be some pressure on him? Absolutely. But I trust him in this spot, and I think he might be kind of the key player for the Seahawks offense.
Interesting. We'll get to some X factors as well here, and let us know in the comments who you think or what element of either team here could swing the game to their favor in terms of X factors. But what about a guy like Holani now, who might see obviously an uptick in snap count? Could he be in the mix a little bit here? Would he be a target for prop markets? He's only at 10.5 yards here and minus 109 for the over, but does he play a role?
Yeah, he certainly could. It's not a player I'm targeting of my 60 bets I've placed for Super Bowl 60. I don't have a single bet on him, to be completely honest. He certainly could play a role. We've seen some second string backup running backs play an important role in the Super Bowls in the past. So yeah, it's certainly possible. Kenneth Walker only played 62% of snaps last week. So yeah, we could. That's not a look that I've seen, but yeah, over 10.5 he said for Holani.
Yeah,
could be worth a look if Walker only plays slightly over 60% of the snaps on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, and minus 109 as it stands right now. Let's look at the other sideline here and talk about the Patriots running backs. You talked about maybe the lack of depth at the wide receiver position that, Drake Maye can rely on there, which is, certainly true. A tick in the Seahawks box there in terms of comparisons. But what about Trevion Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson here? Any thoughts on them and what they need to do to help Drake Maye generate production for that Patriots offense?
Yeah, so one of my strategies actually for the Super Bowl is I've placed a lot of Trevion Henderson prop bets because last week he did almost nothing. I think it was 3 carries in the AFC Championship. So because of that, the betting market, in my opinion, has overreacted and is rushing attempts numbers at 5.5. His rushing yards number is very low. His receptions totals at 0.5. He just needs to get a reception for that bet to cash. I think that's an overreaction to a one-game sample size. The Patriots all season have kind of gone with a hot hand at running back. We've seen this exact situation play out a few times already. In week 7, he had 2 carries against the Titans. The next week, he had 10. Week 15, he had 5 carries against the Ravens. The next week, he had 19. I think there's evidence there that if Trevion Henderson gets a couple carries early in the game and looks really good, Mike Vrabel just rolls with a hot hand and gives the ball to Trevion Henderson, and maybe Ramondre Stevenson takes more of a bit of a backseat. So, yeah, one of my strategies for betting on the Super Bowl, I have Trevion Henderson over 5.5 rush attempts, plus 112. I have over half a reception, minus 190. You got to lay a little bit of juice on that, though. But touchdown, 5-1. I think there's some value on some Trevion Henderson prop bets, and the Patriots certainly should look to get the run game going because as we talked about earlier, Drake Maye has not done well against elite defenses in the playoffs. So they're probably going to have to get the run game going to have any hope in this game.
Perfect segue then to my next question about, digging into maybe what the Patriots need to do to win this football game. And the Rams have been pretty much the only team to generate any sort of significant offensive production against this, like you mentioned, very good, very elite Seahawks defense. Does New England have the horses to get to the 25-point threshold, I'll call it, against this team? Because that could be a key number because it's a feat that's been only achieved by the Rams twice and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season, Mac.
Great point. Didn't know that. I don't think they do. I think they're going to have to find a way to either get short fields by forcing turnovers on defense or maybe a special teams play here or there, but the Seahawks have a significant advantage on special teams, so it's going to be hard for them to do that. But this is not like an anti-Drake Maye thing that I'm saying. I just don't think he has the offensive weapons. His receivers are Stephon Diggs and Keyshawn Boutte. Not good. Decent tight end who we'll talk about in a little bit, Hunter Henry. But okay, you want to lean on the running back? Sure. Now you have to go up against the best run defense in the NFL in the Seahawks. So there's just not a lot of paths I see for the Patriots to put up a ton of points. I think their best hope in this game is to win a low-scoring game, which means they're going to have to play well on defense.
There's an interesting angle that we've sort of been talking about here at OddsShark, just behind the scenes, and it has to do with field goals and special teams. Macdonald loves to go for 3 points. So fewest fourth down attempts this season in the league. So push back if you don't agree. But what about Seattle field goal props in this one? Jason Myers, 3+ field goals is around 2-1. 10 points is similar market, maybe a bit less at around plus 150. Some other nice ones out there as well. Your thoughts on that angle?
I am going to push back on that a little bit, although I do concede your point to the fact that fewest fourth down attempts in the NFL. But one of my 60 bets that I've placed for Super Bowl 60 is Jason Myers under 1.5 field goals made at plus 146. And the reason being, one of the biggest weak points for the Patriots this season has been their red zone defense. Not good. Actually, not good red zone offense either. 22nd red zone offense, but for the sake of this bet, 23rd in red zone defense. Teams score a touchdown in 60% of their red zone trips against them. And the Seahawks offense scores a touchdown of 57% of their offensive red zone trips. So if the Patriots' red zone defense is not good and the Seahawks convert these red zone trips into touchdowns, I don't know if Jason Myers is going to get a ton of work. Obviously, they have to get to the red zone for those numbers to come into play. But 1.5 field goals made is Jason Myers' field goals total for this game, and the unders plus 146. That's where I went. But I mean, you could make the argument the other way, and like I said, your point stands. Not a lot of fourth down attempts, but at that plus 146 price tag, I took the under on Myers field goals.
Speaking of picks, and like you said, you've got 60, so I'm going to ask you for 3 in a second here. But folks, become a smarter better and sign up at Prop Professor, because right now you can get it for 25% off for the first month. Get hundreds of plus EV bets every day and get a real shot at finding long-term profit. NHL, NBA, the NHL, so many more leagues all covered here. And it's more than just highlighting plus EV spots. There's a great arbitrage tool here, great fantasy optimizer tool, tons more under the hood, easily the best bang for buck on the market. So use the promo code OddsSharkPP at checkout and get 25% off for that first month. Before your picks, IMAC, what is going to be the X factor that could swing the game to either side here?
The X factor that could swing the game to either side. I think it is. I feel it's a little bit of a cop-out because I said the same thing when we talk NFC Championship, but I think it is special teams. Because the Seahawks special teams unit, second DVOA, special teams DVOA. It's won games for them in the past. We talked before about the second regular season game against the Rams. That punt return sparked that comeback. And the Patriots, I think, 20th in special teams. Yeah, 20th in special teams DVOA. So an advantage for the Seahawks. But if the Patriots can get something going on special teams, big blocked field goal against the Broncos in the AFC Championship, so they had something going for them there. That's an area that maybe they can make up some ground and make up for the fact that their offense is probably going to struggle in this game. So if there's one area, and I know a ton of people don't think about special teams that often, but I think it could play a big role. Rashid Shaheed for the Seahawks, speed demon. He can, bring back a punt or a kick anytime as well. And Mike Vrabel, we talk about how good of a coach he is. One of those edges that really good coaches have is being able to do things well on special teams. So I do think special teams at some point in this game is going to play a significant role. Also, the Seahawks punter, Michael Dixon, I think is his last name. Quietly one of the best punters in the NFL. So keep an eye out on that. Actually, I know I'm going to give 3 bets out here in a little bit. I got a bonus 4th bet right now. Any punt to result in a touchback? No. Minus 150. Great price. Michael Dixon has had only 3 punts all season result in a touchback. Bryce Baringer only had 5 punts all season result in a touchback. If you don't mind laying the minus 150 price point, how's that for a special teams, a punt prop bet for the Super Bowl?
I absolutely love that. I love getting into the weeds with some punter props. Speaking of getting into the weeds, IMAC, obviously with the Super Bowl, there's no shortage of betting options, but build us a creative little single game parlay for Super Bowl 60. What do you got?
Single game parlay, and I got a little storyline to back this up. Patriots fans, I know you're already mad at me enough. Don't be too mad about this. I apologize in advance, but this is called the Drake Maye Nightmare Parlay for the Super Bowl. Because there is a world, let's be honest, Drake Maye has not played well so far in the playoffs. He has a very tough matchup ahead of him in the Seahawks defense. So this parlay is a Drake Maye Nightmare Parlay. We're going to start off with Drake Maye under 220.5 passing yards. We're going to then parlay that with Drake Maye to throw an interception. And then we're going to parlay that with 3 different Seattle Seahawks players to get a sack. DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, all to get a sack. Don't forget, Drake Maye sacked 5 times in each of his 3 playoff games so far this postseason. All 5 of those anti-Drake Maye bets come out to 46-1 at DraftKings. The Drake Maye Nightmare Parlay.
Absolutely love it. Bring us home, iMac. Let's wrap up the video with your 3 bets for Super Bowl 60. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
I got a bet on a side, a bet on a player prop, and a bet on a game prop to give the people. So obviously my pick for the side, you are probably going to guess it. It is Seahawks -4.5, -112. Let's not overthink this one. I know underdogs have done well in Super Bowls recently. 5-0 against the spread the last 5 Super Bowls. 4-1 straight up. This is not that situation. We've known this for a long time. The NFC far better than the AFC. The Patriots had a little bit of a cakewalk in the playoffs. I know, some tough defenses, but some of the worst offenses ever that they got to face in the playoffs. Seahawks, first in the NFL in overall DVOA. First in the NFL in net yards per play. First in the NFL in net EPA. Like I said, special teams unit, one of the best in the NFL, second in special teams DVOA. This is the best team in the NFL, taking on a good Patriots team, but a Patriots team that is outmatched, a Patriots team that has already shown has offensive struggles against good defenses. So I will lay the points of the Seahawks -4.5. If you do want a pro Patriots prop, though, I know I've been crapping on the Patriots this entire video, but if you want a pro Patriots prop, this one's for you. Hunter Henry over 37.5 receiving yards at -118. If there is one weakness the Seahawks do have defensively, they have not defended tight ends well. 22nd in the NFL in receiving yards allowed to opposing tight ends. 31st in receptions allowed to opposing tight ends. So you could also go Hunter Henry over receptions if you want to go that route. But yeah, I do think if the Patriots find any offensive success in this game, I think Hunter Henry is going to play a role in that. So I'll go Hunter Henry over 37.5 receiving yards at -118. And then my favorite game prop is related to first downs. If I can find it on my long list, here it is. Yeah, this comes in at bet number 43 of 60 bets for myself. Under 39.5 first downs at even money. You might be surprised if I know both these teams actually don't convert a lot of first downs, because if you think about their offenses, kind of explosive offenses, and really to rack up first downs in a game, it's more like you run the ball, you get a third down, you get a first down, new set of downs. They're actually 11th and 12th in the NFL in first downs per game. They combine for an average of 40.2 first downs per game. So they would have to hit their offense's average for this bet to go over. But now they're taking on 2 very good defenses. The 2 defenses in this game allow just 34.8 first downs per game. So if you think this game is going to be a defensive battle, which I certainly think it is, this is kind of a niche bet that you can get in on. Bet this at DraftKings. Everywhere else I've looked, it's 38.5. DraftKings says under 39.5 first downs at even money. You get plus money on that as well. So line shop, but the best price as of recording this video, DraftKings under 39.5 first downs, even money. Those are my 3 best bets for Super Bowl 60.